Hey everybody, this is MIDI Press and the Double Helix, a duet between creativity and compliance. Just wanted to send a quick voice memo from the studio. I wrote a theme song for the Helix, and yes, the MIDI does look like DNA. When I sat down to record my third podcast episode about festivals feeling like SaaS pricing pages, I felt like something was missing besides sound effects. I needed a theme song. Every great podcast has a catchy hook that grabs you at the intro. So after work, in my limited hours to put this podcast and Substack together, I dusted off my Ableton Live and wrote the new Double Helix podcast theme. But why a theme at all? Because a brand should be more than a logo in the dark. It should have a shape that you can hear. Think about The Daily. It's one of my favorite podcasts, and that little motif is a door you've heard 1,000 times. Doors first, exposition later. I learned this at scale last year during the Olympics when Uber launched its first parent brand campaign. We were working to find the heart of what Uber stood for, how to encapsulate all of the feeling from all of our different products. And one of the components of that was launching a sonic ID. It punctuated that feeling of knowing you're heading where you want to go. And so when I realized I didn't have a door for all of you, that sound that says you've arrived at the intersection, I wrote one. I would say the Helix is a duet. The plucked piano is the human voice. The arpeggiator, the machine. Two melodies in contrary motion. A tiny grid offset for the rungs of the Helix. Moog-warmth underneath to ground it. I was pretty far along, and then mid-session, I actually didn't know what in my software was updated and what wasn't, and it crashed. I freaked out because I hadn't saved anything. So friendly reminder, save your working file. I did get back into it, and luckily it was there waiting for me, my session intact. But what was wild is that when I zoomed out a bit, the notes were staring at me. The piano part looked like a spiral staircase. If you zoom out, no joke, it looks like DNA. 2 lines, 1 helix. I didn't really plan for that, but I did have an immediate intuition on what I wanted to try. I knew that I wanted to have 2 lines cascading down in sort of arpeggiator motion to capture that twist. And I started in A minor, so the first steps felt honest, unresolved, and then let it breathe into C major. The plucked notes reflect different steps in the DNA ladder, meeting in the middle to fuse just like the Helix and this whole concept. So when I saw it actually come together in the pattern and visually represent the Helix, it just made so much sense and made me feel like I was on the right path. Sometimes the motif tells you what it is. If the Helix had a heartbeat, I'd say this is it. Those crossings are editorial turns. The moment a question becomes an answer, or an answer becomes a better question. The bass is a neutral ground, the part both voices agree on. And when the harmony tips from A minor into C major, that's the handshake. That's where the Helix fuses together. Right now, it's just a 30-second loop, and I haven't done any mixing. There's no compression, no filters. There's a lot that I can do with this, but I wanted to share just the sketch form of it, bring you inside the build a little bit to show you what I'm doing when I get off of work and I head home with the very limited time that I have, a couple hours every night with a small child. I am creating this from the ground up, and it's pretty fun. I have thought since I first wrote this, maybe I should try it in Suno or 11 Labs to try a different method using AI. I don't feel finished yet. I'm still experimenting with the textures and the beat. In this version, for example, I'm using a keyboard typing sound as the hi-hats. I might add some vocals at some point as texture, but I'm going to try and not overcomplicate it for now. I'm happy with what this is, and I think that it can evolve as we go. So, as always, Send me your questions, comments, let me know what you're working on, and if you'd like to be featured on the Double Helix, I'm very open to it. And if you're interested in the MIDI or the stems, comment Helix and I'll share. But come on, let's go through this door together. Press play on the next episode and come on in. I'm Abbi Press. Till next time.